In the previous video, Christ gives John a sign about the traitor. He told him that the person who would dip the bite and give it to him, he will be the traitor. Indeed, he dips the morsel and gives it to Judas. John is reassured when he recognizes the traitor. The person who places his hand on John's shoulder is Peter, as if he were asking him, "What did he, Christ, say to you?" Peter, despite his status, he was described as a hasty person. Notice that he is holding a dagger. This dagger has a very important story. When the Messiah is arrested, Peter will seek to defend him with a dagger. He cuts off the ear of Malchus, the servant of the high priest. Christ will reject Peter's action. The severed ear is restored to its place. Miracle comes back intact. But notice in this painting, before all these events, Peter had the dagger hidden behind his back. Because the Messiah would reject this act. Note Da Vinci's interest and the details of the story accurately. Among them, you will find Judas, who is the traitor. Judas' left hand is outstretched in the same dish on which Christ extends his right hand. This is the sign of a traitor. He who dips his hand in the dish with me, he will betray me. This sign Leonardo puts it cleverly, as an artistic species in painting, as if you noticed, Judas holds a bundle of money in his right hand. Because he received the price for handing him over to the Messiah. Notice how he holds the bundle of money. Vessels and nerves are visible and prominent. Also, the prominent veins in his neck, she indicates that he is confused and his heart is beating fast, because he feels guilty and afraid of being recognized. Even his face is hidden from the painting, because he is afraid and wants to hide himself. His hand is outstretched on the table, and the salt is scattered. The verse in the Bible says, as if it were a movement expressing his destiny, man is like salt, he can add flavor to life. But if it spoils and scatters on the ground, he loses his soul forever. This is a technical detail. It places a prophecy and judgment on character. She makes us see her end before she even betrays. Note the location of Judas in the painting. In Leonardo's preliminary sketches, you'll notice he put Judas. On the other hand, facing the students, as artists did before him, they isolated him and distinguished him from the rest in this way. In Leonardo's preliminary sketches, you'll notice he put Judas. On the other hand, facing the students, as artists did before him, they isolated him and distinguished him from the rest in this way. But when Da Vinci read the story, he found that he was sitting among them, and no one at that moment he knew who the traitor was, so much so that everyone doubted themselves. So, the smartest thing is not to be prominent and alone, rather, sitting among the students. But Da Vinci, instead of taking the easy and frequent way, he decided to isolate him in other ways, such as lighting everyone. In one way or another, they are highlighted, but it is in the dark. Go to the group of 3 sitting nearby, Andrew, brother of Peter. So, you might see a similarity between them. His body language expresses his denial of betrayal. This is little Jacob. The movement of his hand connects the 2 brothers, and also between the 3 here and the first 3. The last one in the group is Bartholomew. If you look at his body movement, you will feel it forming an arc, as if the arc closes the painting. If you move your gaze to the other side, you will find Jacob the son of Zebedee. You will notice a similarity in his features with John and Christ himself, because he is actually John's older brother. The 2 are cousins of Jesus Christ. Perhaps for this reason, Da Vinci highlighted the similarity. He made Christ and the 2 closest disciples to him a figure. They are on his right and left. Of course, we are not sure historically whether this was Da Vinci's intention or not, but we can say that this is a nice detail. If we look at Philip, we will find that he is worried in a manner appropriate to the situation and event. The strange situation in the painting is Thomas, but there is a reason and a story for his situation. After the crucifixion, Christ will rise from the dead, and he begins to appear to his disciples. The first time he appeared to the disciples, Thomas was not with them. And when they told him, he said, "I won't believe it, unless I put my finger in the nail marks on his hands and feet, and insert my finger into the place where the spear stab occurred." When Christ was crucified, the Roman soldier stabbed him in the side with a spear. To ensure his death, Thomas asked to put his hand in his side. It is the place of the spear stab. This is evident in the painting Caravaggio. Matthew was working as a simple taxman. The Gospel of Matthew is attributed to him. You will find it turned to Christ, but his arms are pointing at him. Next to him is Thaddeus, the younger brother of Jacob, and after him, Simon the Magnificent from Cana, also the last one. It is as if he were also adding, with the formation of his body, the end of the arc.